Something went haywire with this motor and we're going to find out what's going on. Hope you follow along as we discover why this motor quit working. Yes, I'm Marv from Marv Fixit Shop. I've been dragging junk home for years and no different with this mower here. So let's get right to it. A little bit of history on this mower. It's just a cheap, I don't know where you would buy them, probably someplace like Lowe's, Walmart, something like that. Yard machines made by, I think, MTD it says here. They cost about $300 top new. So when my friend brought this over and explained to me what was going on, he brought this one and another one, and I hope to look at the other one soon. But he said there's a guy up the street here whose yard's getting away from him, wondered if I could do anything to fix this mower. I did some evaluation and I discovered that it probably costs more to fix this old mower than it's worth. He told me not to invest any time into it or money. So I'm going to do the right thing and try to fix it anyway. Let me show you what I found so far. I took the air cleaner off and this air cleaner was packed full of dirt. I got it over there, I washed it, and I'm trying to save it. I don't want to buy a new one if I don't have to. It looks like it's salvageable. Something else that I found wrong was this ripcord, or this starting cord was broken, wound up, and there was no way to start it. So I took this cover off right here, and I'll show you how I did that in a few minutes, but all I did was cut the cord and make it so it's usable. Probably ought to be replaced, but not right now. I checked the gas, it's full of gas, it didn't smell that bad. But after I got the ripcord, I went to start it, it wouldn't pull. And then I discovered a cable down here that went up to that lever. What I discovered about that was that the cable was broken, which wouldn't allow me to pull this. To take the cover off, all you need is, I use a cordless drill, got a little socket in there, and we'll run those, there's 3 nuts right here. And we'll loosen those, get them off of there, and then this just slips off. And gas cap's tight, and all I did was tilt this over like this, and I took the cable off and put a tie over here to keep this lever so that this shoe right here wouldn't hold this, and then there's a kill switch right here. So I just took a zip tie and zip tied it so it would work. I put it back together, I pulled the starter, and yeah, it ran. But I had a dilemma then. I didn't know how to shut it off. So here on the spark plug, I just shorted the plug out and it shut off. So now what I did is I went and ordered a new cable. I hope this cable is the right cable. If it is, then we have an easy repair on this. I still want to pull the plug out, check it. I want to change the oil, and I just want to clean this thing up a little bit. I'm still not going to replace the pull string. And I'm getting a little bit of labor in this. I figure I'm going to have at least 1/3 of the cost of a new one till I get everything done. It's set outside and it's pretty rusty. I don't know how it's going to run exactly once we do get it going. After it's warmed up good, all I did was start it and shut it off. So I have no idea. And then also the blade looks like it's hit something, and I have to take that off and try to get it fixed. But right now, let's see if we can't put this new cable on. The first thing I'm going to do is work this. By the way, there's a top and a bottom. This end goes to the machine, and this end goes to the handle. This little thing works its way into this handle, and it looks like I got stuff I got to clean out of there because I broke it off when I took the old one off. But let's put this right here. I believe this is the way it was. And then, yep, that would work good. Now what I need to do is punch this residual plastic that stayed in this handle out of this little hole, because I got to feed this little lever right here into this hole. I got that done, so let's see if I can work this in there. Yep, that went right in. Now this end, if I got the right size, should snap right into, see if I can get you focused in there. There you go. Should snap right into the bottom side of the mower. Let's get you down there. What I have to do is cut this off. There's that's off, and see now this is loose. And I'm going to feed this into here first, and then I'm going to pop this in, which it just has some clips in there, and it should go right in place. And it did. So now let's see if this thing is going to actually work. Boy, this seems a little longer than it needed to be, but let's see if it works. Oh, there's one other thing I need to do. There was a spring that went from here back to there. Let's get that put on. I found a spring, and now I'm going to put it on there. It goes right in here, and then it hooked right there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Probably not, because stuff's going to be in the way. But let's get the channel locks out here and see if I can't get that hooked. Tell you what, I'm going to do it this way. There it is. Now let's see if that handle feels any better. Oh yeah, that feels more like it should. We'll get zip ties and zip tie this up, the handle and this cable, so it looks neat. We'll just do that right now. I've got some nice black zip ties right here. We'll put one right there. I wish I would have ran that under. Well, it's a little late now, so I'll leave it right there, and we'll put it like this. But absolutely, that should have went underneath. I wonder if I can still do that. Let me see, and see if I can get enough play on this to get it out. And I can. So we'll put it under there like that, and we will try to get it back in place. And I do. Now let's see if this will go in place, and it does. Yeah, I like that a lot better. I'm glad I took the time to do that. It is absolutely out of the way now. This still seems loose, but it's the way it is. I want to take a minute and show you the old cable and what happened to it. And it makes me think that a person should do some maintenance work to these. You can see that cable severed, and it's broken because it rusted. So water got down in the end of this spout right here and worked its way in, and it rusted the cable where it got weakened and broke. What does that tell me as someone that repairs this stuff on occasion? Well, it tells me that I could probably take my sewing machine oil, which is super thin, work it into the top of this cable so that it feeds down through there. What I see here on this cable is that there's a loop right here where water could puddle. If it's set outside all the time, moisture get into the end of this cable and it would puddle right there. No way to get out. So in my opinion, I think a person should fill this up enough. It may take a little while because that's got to work its way down the cable. If I would have done it before I put it on, it probably would go faster, but I'm getting quite a bit of oil in there, and this is sewing machine oil, so it's pretty liquefied and it flows nicely and it oils really good. It's kind of like a, what do they call that, 3-in-1 oil? I don't use it much, but yeah, it's kind of like that. We got some in there. We'll let that go, and hopefully that'll find a spot it needs to find. Now back to this air cleaner. There's the foam, and I know they make foam oil that you can put on breathers like this, but we're not going to right now. So I'm just going to put this back on. Just goes on here, and then this little plastic cover just snaps right in place. Okay, let's see if we can't get this spark plug looked at. You can get to the spark plug without this cover being off, but since I have it off, I'm going to go and work and get it off. I'm going to work on it with it off of there. If I can get this boot off. Yep, there it comes. Now let me go get the wrench, and at the very least I'll clean that thing up. Right there's the spark plug. I'll get a plug wrench and we will get that off of there. Make sure we have this going to the right direction. There she comes. And that's what the plug looks like. I'm going to take it over to my brush and clean it up. What the plug looks like after it's cleaned up a little bit. Put just a little bit of anti-seize on those threads too. Let's plug this into the machine, and let's see if we got any power. I know we do because I had it running, but let's just see what it looks like. Try to get it up here where you can actually see it also. I may not be able to do this by hand, but let's just check it. I about need this cover on. Nope, I can't turn it hard enough to check the spark. So I'm gonna have to put this back together, and then we will check the spark before I put it back in. Let's get set up and put this cover back on. Can see I have the cover on. It's nice and tight, and what I did is zip tied that handle down so I didn't have to hold it to pull it. But let's see if we have any power. Like I said, I think we will, but let's see if I can get it to spark. Boy. Oh yeah, there was good spark now. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I sure did. We have good spark. Spark plugs back in, covers on, air cleaner's in. I need to trim those ties down a little bit. I'll do that right now. And then really, the only other thing I need to do is warm it up and drain the oil out and put some new oil in it. Although the oil looked pretty good. So let me get this thing off the bench, and we'll take it over by the door and see if she'll still run. I almost forgot. I got to change or take the blade off of this thing and sharpen it. So let me do that while it's still on the bench. And to do that, I got to tilt it up on its side, and hopefully none of that gas will run out. And we can get the blade off without too much trouble. I've got a 15 millimeter. I think that'll do it. Let's see if I got enough power with this little impact. Oh man, that just ran that right off of there. Look how rusty that stuff is. Let's get the blade off. I'm gonna walk over to my bench and clean it up good and just put a new edge on it. Got the blade put back on. I cleaned up the parts pretty decent. I went at it and oiled in here to keep it from rusting, and I put just a little bit of anti-seize on the bolts. I'm going to go ahead and scratch some of this as not to break the bank on the repairs of that thing. I'm not going to clean that up as good as my particular mind says I should. You can see it there. It's not very good, but it's good enough. Let's get this back up. And oh, no gas ran out. That's a good thing. Let's see if the thing will start. She started, ran a little rough, but I think it'll work its way out. All I need to do now is let it warm up a little bit and drain the oil and put new oil in it, and then we'll test it out. Well, we know this old lawnmower runs, so let's see how it mows. So let's go outside and find us some grass. I did get the oil changed in this stand, so made kind of a mess of it, but I figured it out. Let's start it up. Let's prime it. Let's see if that works. Well, I have to say that thing mowed pretty darn good, but pushing a lawnmower in this heat is about more than this old man can take. Let's see if it starts on its own with the first pull. What do you think of that? If you got any comments, drop them below. Please subscribe to my channel. If you like videos like this and others, check these out. Can it be fixed? Sure it can. Can you fix it? You're darn right you can fix it. Until the next one.